All right, here we are, live once again. I'm Rev Bruce. We're with Coffee and Chat, and we're doing this on a Saturday, hitting us up with the fitness challenge, right? This is the fitness challenge, this financial fitness challenge we've been talking about. Wanted to do a special session just to make sure that we're on the right track, we're headed in the right direction. We're really, you know, almost in July, and we're basically easing into the end of the 30 days. The end of 30 days after the 6th. So we want to make sure that we do this and do this where we can make sure everybody's supplied with everything that they need. Everybody's supplied with everything that they need. Excuse me. I don't know where that came from. But let's take it like this. You get an opportunity with this to actually see um, some of the process, at work. And when we say some of the process, when we talk about the process, it's not all overnight. It's not all going to happen at once. And so that's the beauty of it. And I say, take that into account and don't feel rushed. Don't feel like you need to do more than um, any anything that's normal. Make sure that you're doing what works for you. Make sure you're doing what works for you and yours. And so this is guidance. This is guidance, but it's not quote unquote financial advice, professional financial advice. I'm just someone who's um, been back and forth with different uh, issues of finance, looked at it, took it on a couple of different ways, and offering folks a similar chance to get into the investing world, whether you want to go into fintech, crypto, or ETFs, or you just want to retire and you want to find out about the fire movement or anything like that. I'm doing a lot of research that allows you to say, okay, let me let me see what he's talking about, and then that may help guide me, right? That may help guide me into other places that I may want to go, right? You may want to follow other YouTubers. I'm going to give you some YouTubers down the road that you definitely want to check out, see what they're talking about, and see how it applies to you. Especially as here I am as a now older black man talking about retirement and things of that nature. But when I was 26 and I was setting up a Roth IRA, people thought I was crazy. And that Roth IRA has been a godsend in doing everything from saving my mother's house to all kinds of things. So as we go through this, it's really basically a checklist where you can see where you are, what you should be doing or could be doing during these phases. I've broken it into um, 30-day check-ins, right, with 10-day phases. So we're at the third of third 10-day phase within the first 30 days. We're at the third 10-day phase within the first 30 days, and it's going to look a little different, right? Expect some videos throughout the week, right? Expect some videos throughout the week. In fact, throughout the month of July, even uh, August, going into September, as we get further into the challenge. And so these will be videos that will be available on the channel, but they won't be live chats per se. So you'll have to go to the YouTube channel to check them out, and don't mind that. That's just going to be how it's set up. Got it? Cool. So as we're moving on, Remember, this challenge is from June to September. It's a 90-day challenge. Allow yourself 90 days to get a feel for something, get an idea about it, and get your feet wet enough to where you can dive deeper later on. All right. So the goal is to get your feet wet enough so you can dive deeper later on. I hope you're getting that and understanding that, and that will be key and crucial to what we're doing later. Here we go. Days 1 through 10. Right. This is going to be your assessment. Right. It's what you should have had coming into this. Right. It's your assessment. This gives you a picture of where you are, where you stand. And if I could put anything else with this, I would just put, as far as your assessment, you're really trying to find out where you stand. Okay. You want to find out where you stand credit wise, right? So, so you want to make sure that you use something that can help you identify your credit score as well as increase your credit score. Give you some strategies to increase your credit score. One of the things I recommend is Credit Karma. Right, Credit Karma. It's a free website. You can also go to Experian. Right now, Experian's pretty good, and I would say NerdWallet is a good one. NerdWallet. I like NerdWallet. Haven't had any problems with them either. But to go along with that, those are sites where you can use and get your information, find out about what type of where your credit stands, how to improve your credit, what's impacting your credit score, how to address that, how to push that forward, and boost your credit score. They'll even make recommendations as far as credit cards you're available for, loans you're available for, discounts, bonuses that are available to you. So you want to check out your credit score. Your primary goal is to identify who you owe, right, and how much you owe. Does that make sense? Identify who you owe and how much you owe. Stand out from there. That's your credit assessment. How many credit cards or accounts do you have? Are you considering that your finance vehicles are also on your credit report? And so how's that going paying those? Are you on time? Are you early? What's going on? And how's that impacting your credit score? Look at that. Look at how much you're paying. And can you knock any of that out? Can you knock any of that out and move forward? And then check your bank balances. Your bank balances list where your accounts are and also list what's in your accounts, where your accounts are located and what your balances are. Checking, right? Savings. Do you have CDs? Do you have money markets? Any other accounts, right? I have a holiday savings account. I gotta put that in there. What accounts do you have? And then what are the balances? Are you carrying balances on those accounts? And what are those balances on those accounts? And how does that benefit you? Right? How does it benefit you? Well, you know where your money is and how your money is spread out. And are you paying unnecessary fees? Your banking should be primarily free unless it comes with benefits, right? And we'll get into that later. But your banking should be free unless it comes with benefits for being with that institution. That's what you want to be mindful of. Boom. So we take it from there and we jump over here and we get into the second 10-day phase of these first 30 days. And here's what I want you to do. ID what's available to you on your job, a retirement account, a 401k, another type of retirement account, 457, right, a 403b. What is going on that you can jump in and save? Is there a stock options being made for company stock? Or is it something where you're investing in a group of mutual funds and you're getting funds from there? Or are you a school employee where you might be part of CalPERS or CalSTRS? For instance, in California, as teachers and educators. Those are different options that you need to look. Find out what's available on your job. I remember I worked at Kroger for a minute and they took some money out of my check after a certain period, and I said, "Hey, what's this?" So, "Oh, that's Kroger retirement account." Right? It was like 18 or 19. Like, man, get me out of this. I'm not going to be here that long. But had I known that Kroger would expand and accumulate, acquire different companies, yeah, I probably would have taken that and held on to it for the rest of my life. But it just goes to show you, young and not aware, that can pay consequences. So find out what's available to you. And then not only on your job, but also in your community. Can you be a member of the local credit union? Right? I'm in San Diego. San Diego County Credit Union is available to residents, those who work and live within San Diego County. Cool. That's one that's readily available to people. Cal Coast Credit Union, open to educators. Used to be San Diego Teachers Credit Union, open to educators within San Diego County. So, here we go. And Imperial County and Riverside County. So, boom. Now it's Cal Coast. No longer San Diego Teachers Credit Union. That just shows you right there what's available to you in your community. What's available to you online. Robinhood, E-Trade, Charles Schwab, Fidelity. All these are available to you online. You don't have to go into a brokerage anymore and sit with a guy and discuss what you want to do. You can begin your journey and continue your journey with barely talking to anybody about your finances. It works like that. So what's available to you on your job, what's available to you in your community, what's available to you online. These are things that are going to save you money, they're going to save you time as you go forward in your financial journey. Remember, this is about financial fitness, getting in shape for the long distance and the long haul with financial fitness. Hope you understand that. Hope you're getting it. God bless. Also, learn the basics of investing. I say go with Investopedia. There's a lot of different other options, but I think Investopedia offers a very basic and simple, layman's terms, easy to follow idea and concept of what investing is, how it works, and how investing can benefit you. That's the best I can say on that to get started. As you go further, there's all sorts of resources that can explain to you how to trade stock options, how to operate a wheel strategy and stock options and get money coming in weekly, daily through stock options, all kinds of stuff. Owning stock versus owning ETFs, the diversity factor of that, the individual stock versus the diversity of ETFs. And then you have the index investing, which is very quote unquote passive versus proactive investing when you're doing a lot of research. Identify what works for you. One of the best resources that I have that I will share later is being introduced to Gerald Peters and the Money Flow Gang. GP, got to give him credit. Helped me identify, hey, if you're not willing to do these certain things, you're not a trader, you're an investor. You're not a trader, you're an investor. And investors need to hold on differently than traders. And so if you're not willing to do certain operations and certain calculations, you're not a you're not a trader, you're an investor. And you might want to hold on long term and get involved in some other stuff that helps you hold on long term rather than get thrown off with trying to chase the crowd and end up in the crypto crowd when you really need to be over here building assets and hanging out with the guys who are, just trying to get Johnson and Johnson, Verizon, and the Dow 30 and the dogs of the Dow, and a couple of dividends and real estate stocks, and call it a day. That's what you might need to be doing. Here we go. And this is your application stage. You start making moves that are a little heavier. Get those Dave Ramsey baby steps. Get those reps in with those baby steps, right? Get all that happening as far as destroying debt, saving for your paycheck, getting into the routine of it. You haven't got to the point where you're ready to fully automate yet. Remember, you're just getting started. Take advantage of your retirement account, right? Take advantage of what you got going on with the possibility of starting a stock account. My suggestion, here you go. This is the link that I have for Robinhood. Use it. We both will get stock. I'm like this. If it'll benefit you and me, cool. If you just are adverse to that, just go to Robinhood.com. You may not get as much, but cool. That's what I would suggest. Jump into the comments, open an account, start funding the account. I would say this: $1 a day. Is that fair? Do $1 a day into Apple, $1 a day into SCHD, $1 a day into SPLG. It all depends on, once you've learned the basics of investing, what type of investment do you want to do? Are you trying to do a long-term investment and earn some income, offset your income to where that's your second income? Or are you trying to do something where you're doing a retirement account and you want to have this in more of like a balanced fund where you don't want to take that much risk? Remember, risk tolerance is a major factor, right? Risk tolerance is a major factor, and that's going to determine, what you're willing to do and not willing to do. Simple. And that's going to get you there, and that's going to help you make decisions, help you make moves. That's where your money moves will be determined a lot because of where you are with your risk tolerance. The other part I would say is start building that emergency fund. Start building that emergency fund. Man, is it me, or is the end of this fiscal year, this June part, not just June gloom, but it's like, wow, different financial stress. Man, I'm paying more for different stuff, different renewals, insurance renewal, auto registration renewal, all these different things that have all come together and coincided with June. And I'm like, man, this is a stretch. And I'm making it, but I don't feel comfortable. Can I say it like that? I'm making it, but I don't feel comfortable with how I'm making it. I could do better. And so I set myself up for a special bonus in July. But now I said, well, man, I should have set up for something in June. And so that has me rethinking the structure of my financial strategy for working at a school and having that summertime off, or do I work during the summer and take a shorter time off with less concentration on the length of time or duration of time and more concentration on, hey, I need to fill this gap, or do I spend my time during the year putting away like that ant in Proverbs and putting away during the off season like that ant in Proverbs, putting away until the day comes, maybe in June instead of July next year, I need that money. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at it. It's all part of what I'm doing. Here we go, man. And this is part of a bigger snapshot of the whole thing in review. Number one, you want to spend the first 10 days in assessment. Check your credit score, track your spending habits, know how your bank balances are, right? How much you got in the bank? That's what you want to know. Days 11 through 20, that's your availability. Discover what's available to you. Research investing basics. Review your results. Day 21 through 30, it's time to apply it. Start making money moves. Use a budget app. Start building your emergency fund. Those are the things that you need to do in order to make this work. Those are things you need to do to get this kicked off to where you're on track within the first 30 days. That's how I would do it. That's my suggestion. God bless. Be at peace. If you got any questions, right, make sure you check the blog. Check the blog. That'll be updated on Monday. Be good to yourself. God be with you. And I have to say it like this. Much love to you and be at peace. God bless.